it's Trevor Plays here, back again with another My Hero Academia character discussion video. And yes, I know that I've been doing these every week, but the thing is, I wanted to get them out before I go to college, so there is that. Because I knew that once I got to college, I would be in a college rush, and I would have that mindset of probably not being able to upload YouTube videos. So I wanted to get these out very quickly as I could, so that way there wasn't like a huge break between some of these videos. So I know that you guys don't really watch them that much, but that is okay. For those of you who have been watching them, thank you guys so much for watching them, and obviously I only have 2 more after this one, so there is that. So let me get on with this. Obviously, I know you thumbnail, video title, and all that. So we are doing, okay, camera, can you, there we go. We are doing Momo Yaoyorozu, the everything hero, Creati. Now, obviously, you know, now Momo Yaoyorozu is my final female character to do. So yes, that means she is my favorite female character in this whole series, but there is a few reasons why, but then, you know, well, you know. Okay, so we can just get on with this video. So obviously her quirk is called Creation, and Momo's quirk gives her the ability to create any non-living material from her exposed skin through the molecular manipulation of the lipids inside her body. As long as she has an understanding of how something is made, she can create it. However, it takes her a longer period of time, and, well, more of her skin is exposed to create large objects. She states that the more she eats, the more material she has to work with. So she needs considerable ingestion of food for her quirk to be at its most effective. Now, we have seen her do this a lot of times within the quirk apprehension test well, I don't really think she really used it that much in that arc, but as the series progressed, we saw how Momo's quirk works and what she can do. With that ability, though, has that limit. So as it says that the more she eats, the more material she can create. So a few times, one was at the forest training camp. She was eating next to Sato, so that way she and Sato could both get their I guess levels of sugar high or whatever. And for Momo, it was consumables. So however much food she consumed, she could create more. So that was her whole thing during that. And then I guess during the in Gym Gamma or whatever, she trained a little bit, but we didn't really see too much of that like making any effect on what she did in the provisional license exam, but I will get into that when we get to there. So next, she actually has a couple of abilities, which I did not know some of these abilities until now. So she has Buki Jutsu, which she is skillfully wields several weapons to great effect against her opponents for both offensive and defensive purposes. Her Bujutsu is considered remarkable, having great effect against a large group of villains during the USJ attack, which, well, yeah, she has conditioning. Momo placed first in Aizawa's fitness test, and exponentially expressing a feat, considering almost everyone had at least one superhuman result, and the end result was cumulative of all 10 tests. Next, we have high intellect, and, well, we know she is the smartest person in the class, because she was ranked as having an S-class intelligence, marking her as a genius. Her analytical skills are strong, thus allowing her to be to easily diverse plans and strategies, both in battle and in other situations, which she has no trouble putting into motion due to the versatility of her quirk. Academically speaking, Momo is highly intelligent as she placed first in the midterm of her class, and Momo must understand the structure and composition of anything she wishes to create using her quirk, a complicated task for even the simplest materials. So, even though Momo does have high intellect, she still carries around a dictionary around with her, so that way she knows the how much material and stuff she can create, and what uses what material and all this other stuff. So she still needs to carry around a dictionary, but she's still pretty smart. She also has a teaching ability, which we did see this because I think it was it for the final exam. No, it was the next exam coming up after the final exam. Okay. Momo is considered an extremely good tutor by her peers, holding several study classes for other members of Class 1A. The results have been noticeable judging by the results of UA's first term final exam, where none of the low-grade students failed in the written exam. Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. So it was the final exam for the first semester, or for their first term or whatever. There was, I think, 5? It was Kirishima, Kaminari. No, was it Kirishima? No, it was Kaminari, Jiro, Ashido, and I think Sero, or no, Ojiro, and there was one other person. I know there was one, or I think Sato, maybe. Or somebody, I don't remember. But Momo did have to tutor them, so then that way they could pass, and then once the written exam happened, they passed, but then when the physical part of the exam happened, it depended on if they passed or failed the thing with the teachers. So there was that. Now, noticeable thing was in one of the recent arcs, and I've said this in Jiro's video, it is the Cultural Fest arc, which we are getting to pretty soon, but I'm pretty sure that will be in Season 4 of My Hero. So here we are with musical talent. Momo is capable of playing the piano and other key-based instruments due to having gone through etiquette training during her childhood. Now, I have a picture of Momo as a kid, so there's that. So apparently during her childhood, Momo took a lot of lessons playing the piano, so she was really good at playing the piano and any other key-based, instruments or whatever. So when the Cultural Fest happened, and they wanted to do a concert, Momo said that she would play the piano. So there was that. It was pretty cool to see. And I'm hoping, though, that in the anime they drag out the Cultural Fest a little bit, just so that way we get to see more of the slice of life style of, genre within this, whole manga anime thing, which is one of the parts, like I said before, that I like. And I'm hoping that they drag it out just because it's a big part of a lot of character development from a few people like Jiro, Momo, I guess Bakugo as well, and Kaminari. Like it's their moment, really. So that's what I like about it, and I just hope that the anime team makes it worthwhile when it comes to the Cultural Fest. So there's that. Now, she doesn't really have any super moves that we know of. There's that. Her equipment, I would say her equipment, but she always puts her name in front of the equipment, so I'm not going to go over that, and it's pretty self-explanatory, really. If you just look at her, you know what her stuff is. So there's that. Next, we can get into the battles that she has been in. She's only been in a few battles, but it's still one of the most memorable, battles or whatever. So in the USJ, obviously she was with Kaminari and Jiro versus the villains, and then they won that. You know, I don't really have to say this over and over again, but I do, just because. Next is the UA Sports Fest, and she was on Team Todoroki, and they versed Team Midoriya, and they won, obviously because she had Ida and Kaminari, and, well, her love interest, Shoto Todoroki, on that team, so it was an easy win, really, for them. Next, she versed Tokoyami in the singles battles, and she lost that because she thought that she could take him, but she was hesitating too much, and then Tokoyami started attacking her, so she was on the defense the whole time, and then got a ring out because he pushed her out. So there's that. Next, we have the final exam arc where she was teamed up with Shoto Todoroki, like I said before, her love interest, versing Mr. Aizawa, and they won that. But the way that they won that was kind of, it was a good character development for Momo, because at that point, she looked up to Todoroki, she looked up to Deku, technically she looked up more to Shoto more than Deku at this point, but she respected him, and she pretty much was just following him. But then when Shoto got trapped, trapped, I guess, and then Momo was off by herself, she didn't know what to do, but then she finally figured out, I have to win this with Shoto, so she went back, saved Shoto, and then they ended up working out a way to capture Aizawa, and that was a pretty good scene. That was a pretty good episode to me, because it's two of my favorite characters working together. So there's that. Well, actually three, because Aizawa was one of my favorite characters, but he was versing them at that point, so I had to go with the students for that one. So next we have the Forest Training Camp arc. This one, she was with I would say from Class 1B, because everybody got split up at this point, because when the Vanguard Action Squad did their invasion on the camp, Mustard, one of the villains, used mustard gas to knock out almost everybody. So Momo created a bunch of gas masks for everybody, so she and Awase, I guess, passed them out to everybody and all that, and then a few other people, she made extras so a few other people could go find people if there are anybody in this area and all that, and give them gas masks. So there was that. So she ended up going with Awase and just ended up going off on their own until they ran into a chainsaw Nomu, which this Nomu was being controlled by Dabi, who is the leader of the Vanguard Action Squad and one of my favorite villains, or actually my favorite villain in the series. So there's that. But they won that because the Nomu retreated because Dabi called them back. So here we are at the final battle that she has been in, which is the most recent battle, which was just aired on the anime, and it is the Provisional Hero License Exam. And it was Momo, Jiro, Shoji, and Tsuyu versus Saiko and Telly and her classmates. They won, obviously, but this was also another defining moment for not only Momo's character, but the others as well, because it showed that Class A never abandons their classmates or their friends. Class 1A always goes back to help, no matter who it is, no matter what the situation is. Class A knows how to handle the situation. Now, it was also said at the end of that episode by Aizawa that no matter where Deku and Bakugo are, they are at the if each one of them are at a main event or whatever, they are the center of attention, and it has spread throughout the class that no matter, even if they are split up like they were in the license exam, that you can always count on your friends. You can always count that nothing can go wrong. Class 1A goes and helps each other. That's how it is. And that's what I like about Class 1A. No matter who it is, they still go to help. So there is that. Now, here we can get on with our stats, actually. So here are Momo's stats. So her power is a 2 out of 5, her speed is a 3 out of 5, her technique is a 4 out of 5, her intelligence is a 6 out of 5, and her cooperativeness is a 5 out of 5. Now, I know that I always do this in a certain order or whatever, but I'm going to go off a little bit differently. So I'm going to start off with her power instead. So obviously her power, a 2 out of 5, it makes sense because sure, she can create almost anything, but when it comes down to like just power in general, it takes her a lot of time to create a certain object than using it. So obviously she has to have at least a decent amount of skin exposed for her to use the lipids in her body to create an object or whatever. But if it's like a cannon, then, you know, she had her shirt open and all that, and then it just came out. But other than that, it was sure the firepower, I mean, yeah, but Momo's not really that strong. She's more intelligent, obviously. But there's that. She does have a decent amount of speed, though. It's a 3 out of 5, and she is pretty agile. We have seen her a bunch of times prevail, I guess, in a bunch of tests that deal with stamina and I guess what is it? I don't remember, but yeah, it deals with stamina, and she has a decent amount of stamina and all that. But there's that. Technique 4 out of 5. It makes sense because, well, she has the dictionary plus her brain to create almost anything. So makes no sense why it would not be 4 out of 5. And her intelligence is a 6 out of 5, which was also obviously stated before that she is an S-rated and super genius or whatever in the class, so that's why hers is above the limit, which was 5. So there is that. She is very smart. We have seen this time and time again. No matter what situation it is, no matter what situation she is in, she can get out of it, which we saw with Psycho and her classmates. Next, we have the cooperativeness, 5 out of 5. I say this every time, though, that sure, Momo is a nice person, but being nice doesn't mean that you can work well with anybody who you're paired up with. But for Momo, it's a little bit different. Sure, she is a kind-hearted person, and she may be rich, but she's not a spoiled rich girl who, well, I guess she is kind of spoiled rich girl, but she's not like, you know, the typical rich girls in anime that are like, I'm more I'm more royalty than you or whatever, and something like that. Some weird stupid crap that doesn't mean anything in any anime because it doesn't mean anything. But you know, she's what Horikoshi did for Momo's character is he could have gone that route, but he didn't. He went with the kind-hearted and I guess sweet Momo, and you know, I like the way that he did it, because I mean, if he did do it that way, I might not have liked Momo, but then again, I might have, just because she is, you know, Momo. But there's that. I don't really know too much about that, but I still think that Horikoshi did a good job at making Momo who she is, instead of what she could have been. So there's that. Now that I am done with that, let's get on with the hellishly long part of this. So this is actually, obviously you guys know, the relationships with classmates and other people. So this one is actually, she has a decent amount, I think, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 are her classmates, and 1 is a pro hero that she worked with as an intern. So I will get that when we get there. So obviously I need to get this one out of the way because it is very long, and I have to do it. So The first one here is Shoto Todoroki. And Momo and Shoto have very similarities. Both are students who got into UA through scholarships, hail from famous yet strict hero families, and both have powerful quirks. That is not a lie. As a result, Momo would compare herself to Shoto and believe that he was always a step ahead of her, not having self-confidence in herself. However, this also caused her to admire Shoto's brimming self-confidence as a hero. For his part, Shoto has respect for Momo's observation skills and natural leadership, even voting for her during the class president election, as he thought that she was fit for the role of being a leader. He later chose Momo for his team at the human cavalry battle in the sports fest, but she felt she was only following his orders. During the practical end-of-term exam, Momo was paired with Shoto against Eraserhead, or Aizawa, if you guys didn't know that. He quickly came up with a plan of action, and Momo went along even though she knew its flaws. Throughout the exam, her low self-confidence caused her to panic and be indecisive, which this is what I was talking about earlier, where she went off by herself, couldn't figure out what to do, and then came back and saved Shoto. But it says, however, she regained her confidence once Shoto, who was captured by Aizawa, or Racerhead, realized she needed to be encouraged and so revealed he had voted for her to be class president. After the fight, the two heroes in training had become closer, recognizing their problems. Okay, so this part I didn't make any sense because I ended up looking at this. It says this was seen when Momo comforted Shoto in the Inichi festival, assuring him that he wasn't alone anymore as he has comrades / classmates now. Now, that part right there, the Inichi festival, I looked at this because I scrolled down all the way to the bottom of the My Hero Wiki. I clicked on this because it's a fan-made YouTube video that didn't really make any sense because it was all fan-made. Sure, there was voice acting in it, but it was like an RPG or whatever. It's not like a JRPG. It wasn't really like an anime thing. So that's what confused me when I found this. I was like, what? But I can digress. So here's the last part. Shoto also asked Momo to help him and Kirishima, along with Deku and Ida, to rescue Bakugo without needing to fight when the latter was captured by the League of Villains. Now, this part is what I thought was a really defining moment for not only Shoto, but Kirishima. They went out of their way, obviously because they heard Momo talking to All Might and Tsukauchi, the police officer, that she had put a tracker on the Nomu. Now, because of that, since Shoto and Kirishima heard that, they decided to go and talk to Momo and say, can you make another receiver so we can go and track down Bakugo? So, after they did that, they went and told everybody else, and Deku, who was still in the hospital, as well as Momo, but, you know, they went and said, we're going to do this, so if you're coming, then come. If you're not, that is okay. So there was that. So now let's move on to the next one. And the next one is her best friend, Kyoka Jiro. Momo and Kyoka appear to be close friends with each other. That is very true because they are always seen hanging out together. Along with Kaminari, the two battled against the villain Alliance at the USJ, proving to work well together. Kyoka later asked Momo to tutor her for the end-of-term test, and she happily accepted. I said this in Jiro's video, so there's that. Little facts for you, if you guys didn't watch those videos, but like I said, that is okay. When the class split when shopping for the training camp, they paired up and went off shopping together. Not only that, but Kyoka has also proven to be somewhat defensive of her. During the summer training camp, she punched Sero for comparing Momo's Quirk ability to convert lipids at an atomic level into many different objects to pooping. Now, when this was animated, because obviously I didn't start reading the manga until after this part. Or no, I read it during this part, but I think I skipped over this because I was reading it too fast and I skipped over that part. But when it got animated, I laughed so hard because I didn't know that that was actually a thing. Like, I didn't know that that was being, that was a saying or whatever. So I was kind of surprised by that, but I laughed at it because it was kind of funny. And the anime team handled that really well. But yeah, it was kind of funny. And then here's the last part. She later joins Kyoka's band, playing the keyboard during the school cultural fest, and they pull off a wonderful performance with the teamwork of all of Class 1A. Now, like I said, I'm hoping that in Season 4 we get to this arc as fast as we can. I mean, I really don't want to skip over the overhaul / Chisake arc. I mean, it is a very good arc. Well, technically it's called the internship arc, but it is a very good arc in and of itself. But the Cultural Fest arc was good to see all the other characters plus Class 1B do more of the slice of life type stuff, which I said I do like, but it was also a more defining point of Jiro conquering her fears and going public with her hobby being music, or playing musical instruments and stuff, which was a fantastic thing that they did. So I am happy that they did that. Now next is the intern that I was talking about. It was Wabami, and she's the one that has the snakes on her head and stuff like that. So she trained under her for her internship, and she was disheartened by the fact that they did not do any hero work, and tried to convince herself that there was something she could learn from the experience, which this makes sense because when Momo and, Kendo, and actually Kendo is the next one, I guess I could talk about Kendo's thing next, right now, because it kind of ties in with Wabami. So Momo gets along with Kendo in spite of them being from Class 1A and Class 1B. Itsuka, Kendo, and Momo interned together under Wabami. Although they were treated like Wabami's entourage during their time together, Momo always tried to find a lesson in everything. Kendo appeared to feel sorry for Momo, seeing that she was clearly in denial. Now, this is what I was trying to get into, was, yes, Momo and Kendo did intern with Wabami, but really all they did was become fashion models because they didn't do any hero work, but they did a lot of stuff with products, like hair products and makeup and fashion and all this. So they did like the fashion side of being a hero, but not the hero type work that, they're there for. But Momo being Momo, she wanted to find a lesson out of everything that Wabami did, and Kendo, she just felt sorry for her, so there's that. Minoru Mineta. Momo despises Mineta's perverted behavior, as he is often peeping at her and the other female classmates. Momo does not, she wasn't, oh my god, alright. She was especially embarrassed during the UA Sports Fest, where Mineta attached himself to her body using his quirk in order to finish the race on time and to ride on her through the race. Also, he and Kaminari tricked her and the other girls in the class into wearing cheerleading outfits. Now, obviously, that was another fun scene to see because obviously we got, well, I guess, a little bit of fan service from the girls wearing cheerleading outfits. So that was, I guess, you know, it was enjoyable, okay? I mean, I can't say I didn't expect it or I was surprised by it. I knew it was going to happen because I figured, you know, this is the perfect time for Mineta and to do something, and he dragged Kaminari into it as well. So there is that. Next and finally, we have Izuku Midoriya. Momo, and I just keep on saying Deku because I just like using a name. Plus everybody, well, not everybody, but Uraraka always calls him Deku, so I, you know, don't see the problem in doing it as well. So Momo and Deku are classmates, obviously, of Class 1A, and were both voted as the class reps. However, their partnership did not last long due to Deku stepping down for Ida to take his place. Momo does not seem to have any bad view of Deku, though she did count him out in the race in the versus Hero Killer arc. However, she was proven wrong and was amazed by his new mastery of his quirk. Deku, along with Ida and Momo, would later join Shoto and Kirishima to rescue Bakugo due to the group's teamwork. They were successful. Both are partners because they were seen showing concern for him. Or they're partners because, well, she was seen showing concern for him after... no, wait. Deku didn't fail the provisional license exam. It was Shoto and Bakugo that did. So I think the wording here got messed up. But yes, Deku and Momo were concerned that Shoto failed the exam, and Bakugo did as well. But Momo showed more concern for, you know, Shoto because, well, I've said this multiple times now, love interest. Okay, so now I can get on to the part of why Momo is my third favorite character and why she is my first favorite character of the females. So obviously there are main reasons why, but I'm not really going to get into that. But Momo, she is the smartest person in the class. Now, sure, there's that to go off of, but not only that, but she is one of the prettiest out of them all, so not gonna lie. But other than that, she is, I guess, she's smart enough to know when she can do anything or she can't do anything, so there's that. Why is she my third favorite character? Well, because she pretty much is. Like, from the characters, I have Shoto as my first favorite character, Kirishima as my second, Momo as my third, and then my fourth is Kaminari, and my fifth is Jiro. So, like, if you go by my list, like, obviously, you know, how these are set up, or how these discussion videos are set up, are from my least favorite to my favorite. So, I do kind of have, like, a reason here and there, but really, it's mostly quirk based, and it's also by appearance, so there's that. I didn't end up making Kirishima my second favorite character until later on, but he was still one of my favorite characters based on design. But I will get into that into Kirishima's video, which is on Friday, so hopefully you guys will stick around for that. So that's pretty much it for me in this video, but like I always say, the wiki link and the number of Momo is obviously in the description. Also, so is some of her personal information and stuff like that from the wiki page. So if you guys want to look at the wiki page, don't forget to click on it and do all that stuff. If you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And if you did like this, I know I'm going out of order, but whatever. If you did like this, please hit that thumbs up button. Leave some comments down below. Is Momo one of your favorite characters? How far is she up on your list, or is she pretty low? Do you think Momo's Quirk can produce super moves? Let me know in the comments below. So that is it for me, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed Trevor Plays, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys, and see you next time.